Hi there. Last year, I did a project where I put it out to the world at large, asking them to answer the question for me, what is poetry? I asked people to respond in 10 words or less or in haiku form. And I took the response from this. If you've followed me on social media, you've probably seen it. And I made it into a poem. And then I turned that poem into a bunch of cyanotype prints, and I exhibited them at the Round Rock Public Library. When I exhibited at the library, I put a box with note cards out, and I left this piece of paper there so that the community, when they were in the library and looking at the piece of art, could respond themselves. So the idea was to make a local version of what I had already made. This was last April. I collected the response cards, and just now, at the end of April, a following year later, I have gone through them. I have a very small stack. These are the ones that have responses on them. I have not read them yet. I thought I would do a little bit of an unboxing video here for you here, and we will read them live. After I'm done reading them later on, I'm going to turn them into a poem, and I will share more about that later. But for today, we're going to look at these cards together for the very first time, and I will read them out. Malia says, poetry is talking about something important in a special way. Elizabeth H. says, poetry is the language of old and the language of new. Micah says, words that rhyme, pardon me, Micah, words that rhyme all the time, and they're very divine. And Micah loves poetry. Thank you, Micah. Poetry to me is expression of soul's frequency through prose vibration. Oops, sorry, I didn't realize it wasn't centered there. Hopefully y'all can see that. Oh, this is a long one. Okay, I'm going to save this one for last. We'll come back to that one. Poetry means words with meaning, life, color, love, animals, season, everything. From Evelyn Binu. I like to play. I also like to play, especially with words. Whoever wrote this, thank you. We can incorporate that into the poem. Addie says, silly, Billy, Millie, bam, wham, Sam, lamb, scam, hidden light. April Curran says, poetry is fun. I think poetry is fun. I love poetry. Oh, and here's a bunch of smiley faces and the happiness scale. Hopefully that means that this person was at the top end of the happiness scale when they wrote this card. Okay. What is poetry is a serious question. To me, poetry is more precious than diamonds. It's the times of life and death on paper. Poetry is the soundtrack of my life. If you're sad, there's always a poem to cheer you up. If you're angry, there's always a poem to cool you down. Though poems are exaggerated and are wild dreams, they form a subject as true as calculus, a subject called poetry by Anne Skates. And I think there's something on the back here too. By the way, Anne Skates is a name I prefer. My true name on the library card is, well, I guess I won't read that to you, sorry. All right, thanks everybody for listening to this. We have revealed the cards at last, and I will turn them into a poem, and you'll hear from me again.